Browns Rod and Custom. Boy, have we got a good one for you. It has been a good day. It's been a very interesting day. We got a lot to talk about, honestly. Both car related and not car related, and something you should look out for because they almost got us in a scam today. Came real close. But 1958 Chevy Apache pickup truck frame. Got the 40 Ford out there. As you can see, the bright red Willwood brake calipers right here. We got some suspension going, and I'm hoping you guys tell me, is this clear or is it weird? If it's distorted, I want to know because I can switch to another internet and it might be better. So let me know in the comments if this is a clear like 4K stream or if it's all messed up, because the last couple have been kind of terrible and I had no idea until I watched it back. So Mustang front suspension is in, guys. We are looking good. We got our brakes in. We just got done bolting everything up. Now, let me tell you about this kit because it's pretty damn good. It's a pretty good kit. So, actually, Ron, can you shut that door for me? We're gonna get some better light, I think, if we shut that door. Hey, Ghosty! Looky! We got Willwoods. We got suspension on the front. Shut that door too. This one? Yep. It's just a glare. All right, that's better. So, 1958 Chevy Apache pickup truck. Mustang 2 front suspension. Hey, Ghosty, tell me if I'm clear on the live or if I'm like distorted. Trying tears, that's cute. All right, so we got Willwoods. Get that to where you guys can see them. We got brakes. We got power steering. The only things not installed right now are the shocks and coil springs. Mainly because, beautiful. Thank you, Ghosty. That's what I needed right there. Because the last two lives I've done have been friggin' horrible because you can't see anything. It's just distorted. So, what'd I miss, Ghosty? Yesterday was okay. Really, yesterday was all about getting that front cross member, the original one, out, and we welded the top hats on. Most important day of life. What happened? You get married? You have a kid? Why do I feel like it's car related? I don't know. You got a new car, you got your driver's license back. I don't know. It was your birthday. Happy birthday, Ghosty. Holy shit, so sorry. I should have guessed that. I mean, you know, shit, my wife, it's not her birthday, it's her birthday month. So, you know, I can't keep up. You know, shit, her birthday was October 4th, and we ended up still celebrating last week with her coworkers. And I'm like, whose birthday is it? And they're like, it's your wife's. I'm like, what the fuck? All right. So, that's funny. You guys are all the same. I love it. I like how you work. That's a good plan there. So, we have a Mustang 2. I am very excited. This is the first, it's only been on here probably 20 minutes. I pretty much sat outside and damn near cried for 20 minutes until I did this. It fits really good. So let me tell you about this kit. So this is not the Hyatt kit. This is the eBay Gearhead Enterprises Mustang 2 for the 55 to 59 Apache. Okay. Now, we bought it with the Willwood brake caliper upgrade, cross drilled and slotted rotors, 2-inch drop spindles, power steering, the 4-inch rack extenders, all of that, right? Nice. That's how you spend a birthday, Ghosty. That's it right there. go enjoy your cars. So this kit fits great. It fits really well. I've done a couple videos on how to install it because there's no directions, but we got the directions up like Hyatt, TCI, they're all the same, right? So, so far, it's fit really well. The cross members bolt, or the control arms bolt right in, no problem. With the exception on the back side of the lower gusset off the cross member, where the bolt goes through and the lower control arm slides up to and the bolt goes through. We had to take a grinder to that, take about an eighth off, just so it was just a hair off. Otherwise, it went together perfect. The rack extenders on the power steering went on great. Tie rods went on great. The only other thing that I had an issue with, and it's really not an issue, but this caliper on the passenger side, the caliper bracket was a hair too tight. I couldn't quite get it in, so I took a file to it a couple times and do a little try, and it slid right in. So things that are not installed yet: coil springs, shocks, brake pads, things of that nature. No need to do it yet. Now we are moving into something here with this. So Thursday, so 2 days from now, actually 1.5 days from now, I'm gonna order the bolt-in transmission mount and the weld-in motor mounts, okay? And we have decided to not do an LS. I know that's a big thing. I'm gonna put an old school 350 4-bolt main we're gonna build here on the channel with camel hump heads, looking 350, 400 horse. And I'll probably do something cool with induction and this and the other. We'll really detail it out, long tube headers, that kind of thing. There's a reason for this, and the reason's important. I have a house in Zephyr Hills, along with this house, so I have two, okay? I need to do some renovations over there, and really, if I tried to do the LS, it would push us back timeline-wise substantially, 3 to 4 months. Whereas if I just put an old school 350 4-bolt in it, 4-bolt main, camel hump heads, nice cam, that kind of thing, the truck's still gonna be amazing, run great, do all the things, but I have 2 transmissions in the backyard, in the shed. I've got a fully built turbo 350 with a shift kit and a 2800 stall speed converter. And I also have a turbo 400 with, yes, we are. And I also have a turbo 400 with torque converter, 2800 stall and all that, fully built with a shift kit. So what I think I'm gonna do is do the turbo 400 with the 9-inch 4-door end with the 350 4-bolt main. That is a very solid hot rod package. We're gonna detail it to the nines ghosty. All these control arms and stuff you see here are gonna be painted turquoise. I'm not gonna touch these because I can't. They're just amazing. I can't touch them. It's almost sacrilegious to even try it. And then, actually, guess might go. Sounds like something's running across the roof up there. The hell? So, what we're gonna do here, I think, is get the motor mounts, get the tranny mount, get it here. I've got a 305 out of an IROC Z that's got a cracked block, but it's a fully dressed engine. It's got 305 HO heads and it's got the tune port on it. Kind of like, it's not an LT1, it's the one right before it, where it's got the tubes and stuff. It's really cool looking. So, but the good news is it's got weight to it. It's got everything in it. So we're gonna take that engine, we're gonna mock it up in here to get our engine and transmission mounts right. And we'll put the tranny on it, the turbo 400, and that'll give us enough weight to get the coil springs and shocks into this. Because quite frankly, we're gonna need some weight to do that. Ron's 44, he had to cut like 2 coils out of the coil spring. That might be something we end up doing too. Ours are pretty long. So we'll see where that goes. But realistically speaking, we are an engine and a couple wires away from this truck running, as far as a parts perspective. I mean, we still need a lot, but you know, big things. We have a transmission, we have a rear end, we have front suspension, rear suspension's been paid for, it's on its way, which for those of you that don't know, it's parallel rear 4-bar with a Panhard bar, with Alden American coilovers and billet, with adjustable, with a new cross member for the coilovers. That's coming right now. Should be here first or second week of November. So we're getting pretty close to that. And when that comes, we'll get that in. And then, ladies and gentlemen, we have a roller. That's exciting. And if not yet, but when I order the motor and tranny mounts, that should take a week, roughly, 3 to 5 days kind of thing. And then we'll be welding in motor and tranny mounts in here, putting the cab back on the frame, and then kind of really diving into, do we need to do anything to the firewall on the cab, or are we good? Because if we're good, then we can really dial in the firewall, get it painted, get the holes in it. I still got to get the brake booster and stuff. It was on national back order, or I already had it. But there's not a lot of holes that need to go in that firewall that aren't already there. So, and most of the bodywork's been done to the firewall. So, you know, should be pretty quick. So really, we're looking at probably painting this frame next month and a half, something like that. So, and you guys know tropical turquoise is going to be the color of the truck, color of the frame. Control arms will be tropical turquoise. I'm going to paint the shocks. Right now they're yellow. I'm going to paint them like an aluminum silver, and so on and so forth. But we're getting pretty close, honestly, for this thing to just be rolling around. Now, I did do something which, I had to go one way or the other to pick bolt pattern. So I went with Chevy bolt pattern on the front here, on the front rotors, and the rear is obviously a 9-inch Ford, so it's Ford bolt pattern, so that gets a little interesting. But, it's okay. We'll get there. But I will probably have to get the rear axles re-drilled with new studs, which is fine. I wanted to send them out, get them cleaned up, and new bearings and everything pressed in and all that stuff. So we will be running disc brakes on the rear. I may even, if I can find them for the right price, I may even put wheel lids on the rear, just because I like the way they look. And why not? So far, pretty good. Now, this kit, this Mustang 2 kit, is really well built, has gone together really well, have had 0 issues or complaints with it. It's beefy. Now, again, haven't driven with it. I mean, I guess, technically. My dad's 44 does the exact same thing, minus this. He has these rotors, but he doesn't have these. He has the geometric calipers. What'd you do to the Supra? Don't break the damn Supra. That might be the most expensive car that is around. Damn things are expensive. Can't break Supras. It's like breaking a Mini Cooper. You can't afford to fix it. This shit's expensive. So that's where we're at here. Now, this took a really weird turn today. Ghosty, you'll appreciate this. I'm out here working. My mom comes running out with her cell phone to get my dad, Big Ron. You guys need to be aware of this, okay? Really? Got a mosquito. You got a Shelby? What Shelby you got? So she comes running out here, '07 GT. Yeah, that's a good one. That's a really good one. I had an '05, an '03 GT, Mustang GT, and not a 500, just a GT, um, and which was a coupe, 5-speed manual GT, black. And then I had a '05 convertible black with the red interior, automatic, which I hated. So yeah, I'm a huge fan of your show. Would love to have one day. That'd be nice. So be aware of this, okay? Like really pay attention to this, guys. We end up, my mom's on the phone with somebody on speaker, and I hear him say he's a detective with Hernando County, okay? We're here in Florida. I thought, that's fucking weird, and it's for my dad. It's okay, Ghosty. When he comes back up, you shoot him over. I'd love to see him. So they're telling my dad it's the juror scam, okay? They're telling my dad that he missed a jury summons and that he's got a felony warrant out for his arrest, which is ridiculous. But at the time, you're not thinking about how ridiculous it is. You're just kind of caught up in it. And so we go through all this stuff. They're acting like they're detectives. There's two of them. They transfer you back and forth to each other. Big deal. The one detective tells us, we need you to come down to the sheriff's department to fill out some paperwork, get back on the docket for a new trial and all this kind of stuff. We're like, cool, whatever. So he won't let us off the phone though. And I'm realizing real quick, and I would have realized a lot sooner had I been privy to the entire conversation. I only got brought in at key points, and I was like, what the fuck's going on? And so basically, they did not like that my 42-year-old ass was going to ride with my 71-year-old father. And because they know I'd probably pick up on this, right? Because they're trying to scam the old people of Florida. That's kind of what they're doing. And so I'm driving them to the sheriff's office, right? And he switches us over to another detective. We're like, okay, it's weird. So that guy gets on, says, where are you guys at right now? And we're like, we're heading to the sheriff's department where you told us to go. And he goes, no, stop. And these are white dudes, clear as day. They're not like, they don't sound Indian or anything. You can tell, they're a couple Southern white guys with the accents and everything. So we pull over, tells us to pull over, and starts to go in on how we have two choices. If we go in, if I take my dad into the sheriff's department, we're surrendering. And he could spend, 14 to 21 days in jail waiting to see a judge. The other option is to pay bail. This is where I started really, red flags were just jumping off the chart here. Pay bail at a kiosk. We need to go to a kiosk like you would. He explained it as a kiosk for like parole people. You go in there, you pick your court dates and stuff. I don't know, it sounds very odd. So I start to pick up on this, right? And I'm like, I wonder if there's a jury scam out there. So I look it up on my phone because he's on my dad's. And I see that there is, and I'm like, I wonder if this is it. Because it sounds very real. They send you a real arrest warrant. They send you all kinds of documentation. Shit that has your signature on it. Things that shouldn't be there, right? And you're like, God damn, this looks real. I mean, it looks legit. Like, we were freaked out. And the bail was $12,000. And the guy goes, would you like me to try to get that knocked down? I'm like, yeah. And so he gets it knocked down to $9,000. And I'm like, cool. He goes, now, are you going to go to a kiosk or are you going to surrender? And I said, well, I'm going to go to a kiosk. But first I have to go to a bank because I can't just give you money I don't have in my hand. I don't just have $9 grand laying in my pocket. And I realized at this point, because I asked the guy, I said, let me talk to my dad for a second. I'm going to put you on mute, and then we'll get back with you in a second. We're still here. I can hear you if you need us. I can just unmute you. And he goes, no, 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 no. You have to, this is call's being recorded. You have to be out here on the thing, so on and so forth. And I'm like, So I on my notes on my phone, it's like a, little notepad. I wrote, I think this is a scam, and showed it to my dad. And my dad, at that point, who was completely sold that this is real, was like, and I wrote to him, I said, I'm going to drive to the sheriff's department. So I keep these guys on the phone, and I tell them, I'm going to the bank. They said, what bank are you going to? I found one in Waze that's on the way, which made sense because they knew where we were, basically. And they said, cool, no problem, great, take your time, whatever you got to do, we'll give you extra time to get it done, so on. I'm like, great. So I pull up to the sheriff's department, which was 3 miles away. I leave Ron in the car on the phone with him. I tell him I'm running into the bank. I'll be right back. Here's my dad. I'm going to run in and get the money. They're totally cool with that. I run into the sheriff's office, literally sprinted. And there's a female deputy sitting right there behind this glass. So you walk up and ask questions to her. I said, I've got something going on right now, and I need to know whether or not it's real. And she goes, it's probably not real. And I said, okay. And she goes, the jury scam. And I went, yep. And she goes, Mr. Anderson and Mr. White. And I went, yep. And she goes, do you happen to still be on the phone with them? I was like, we are, but they're on the phone with my dad outside in the car. She goes, do you mind if I talk to them? I said, absolutely, let's do it. This will be fun. She goes, your dad's fine. There is no fucking felony thing. We don't do that. This is not a real thing, but they really do steal your money. And I'm like, great. So thank God I went there. So we go running outside. What's up, Diesel? Lucky. We have a Mustang too, my friend, with wheel brakes. So anyway, we run outside, and I open my dad's door, passenger door, and I take the phone from him and I hand it to her. And she goes, who am I speaking with? Is this Mr. White? And he goes, the guy, and he's on speaker. I'm listening to this happen. It's crazy. And he goes, no, this is Mr. Anderson. Thank you, Diesel. And she goes, so where's Mr. White? And he goes, oh no, this is this. He goes, who is this? And he gets kind of shitty. And she goes, this is Detective whatever, or Deputy whatever from the Hernando County Sheriff's Office. And he goes, and you should have heard the fucking switch. Okay, this guy, she goes, I need to talk to Mr. White. And he goes, I am Mr. White. She goes, no, I've already popped you. I know it's not you. She goes, you're Mr. Anderson. Where the hell's Mr. White? And he's like, oh no. And she goes, you need to stop fucking with people in my county. He goes, fuck you. He starts going off on her. I gotta be careful what I say on here. And they start cussing at each other. It's kind of wild. And she goes, if I catch you, she goes, if you keep doing this, I am going to catch you. And I will arrest you and make sure you have a very bad time in jail for screwing with all these people and stealing their money. And he goes, bitch, I'll do whatever I want. I'm gonna pop a couple more in your county, and then I'll come back, and then I might go away and do it. And I'm like, just totally different person than what I've been talking to for the last, totally different person. We went straight ghetto. And so he hangs up on her. And, my dad's sitting there, shaking. I felt really bad for Ron. My adrenaline was really pumping. I felt like, okay, this is fucking crazy, right? And so, because we really were like, what do we do? Because if this is real, and it could be real, because there's so many people that live in this house that we don't know who signed for the certified jury summons. You know what I'm saying? It could be anybody. So, and half of them wouldn't remember it. So it's like, shit. So, long story short, it's a scam. Another one of the scams that are out there that's running around, they have my neighbor as well, is saying you had a ticket and you didn't pay it. And you got a warrant out for you and so on and so forth. Crazy. But they got 17 people yesterday in Hernando County that they know of. One guy they got for $15,000. He went to the kiosk and uploaded $15,000 in cash, and it transferred it into Bitcoin and sent it to this guy. They're doing it for Bitcoin because you can't trace it, and there's no regulations on it, and you can't get it back. So they're getting Bitcoin is what they're doing. So that's a scam. That's what we went through today before we got this installed. Not exactly what I had, planned on doing today, but I did get them on the phone with the sheriff, and they kind of got busted in a weird way, and it was really kind of fun to see. But Jesus, guys, I mean, it's so crystal clear where older folk for sure would fall for this. I was falling for it, and I'm 42 and I'm pretty good at this, and I'm going, what? But he kept sending me documentation. He had all the right answers. They sounded like detectives. I mean, it literally felt wrong, but looked right. Does that make sense? So, stay vigilant. Just Jesus Christ. So I literally was trying to figure out where I was going to find $9,000. I had no idea. Oh, do I go to Bailbon's place? I don't even know where to go. So, because I didn't want Ron in jail, the guy that's never been arrested in his life. They kept saying there's like red flags and shit. We're like, red flags? He's never been arrested in his life. He's a fucking veteran. Drove a fire truck for 25 years. What the hell? No. So anyway, that's where that was. But back to the truck. I'm really happy. I'm really, really happy, guys. This is just super exciting for me. Now, again, I think we have a really good kit here for a really good price. $2,148 for a Mustang 2 kit designed for this truck, a 1958 Chevy Apache, is a hell of a price for a Mustang 2. With Willwood brakes, 11-inch cross-drilled slotted rotors, 2-inch drop spindles, power steering, rack extenders for the steering rack, all of that. And it all works because I've already done it and installed it, and it works. So, not bad. The cross member fit pretty good. The boxing plates fit pretty. You had to trim them up a little bit, but it wasn't bad. Yeah. I mean, shit, this is pretty good. It really was a good deal. So, really happy with this. But, got a question. What are you going to do with the dead space between the new plate and the frame? New plate and the frame. Are you talking about there to there? All right, wait a minute. There to there? Or are you talking about there or there back? If I look and point, I am pointing exactly at the end of that boxing plate there. Warning, yes, I say truth, but truth scary. Yeah. Yeah, there's some fucking really bad people out there, guys. I don't even know how else to tell you. That'll just rob you blind and do it with a smile. And it's just, and the odds are they're not even in this fucking country. She was pretty confident. She asked him, she goes, "You're in India, right?" And I'm like, "India?" And she's like, "Yeah, they're not here. If we trace the calls, we've tried tracing the calls. And she goes, "I talked to this guy 2 days ago." I'm like, what the fuck? So, yeah, scary. But I think if anybody has a 55 to 59 Chevy Apache pickup truck and you want to put a Mustang 2 front suspension under it, you're looking for a good price on a well-built kit, go to Gearhead Enterprises on eBay. That's the seller. And look it up. It's a Chevy truck kit. All right? Hey, Eric. Thanks for watching, brother. Your first truck. What was your first truck? So I think this is a really good buy. That there, what's the plan? The motor mounts are going to get welded on there right here. Right about there will be the motor mounts will be welded right here to it. But otherwise it just gets painted. Now I went ahead. Nice, Eric. Very nice. So now I did go ahead and weldable prime and treat and everything behind that plate. It's all epoxied. That's what this is, Eric. Same truck. It should be pretty good. Now the plan is here to remove all of this again here over the next couple days, and to epoxy the frame basically from the cab mount there forward and get all this epoxied. Now I did right here, this section here where the front original cross member was, once we removed that yesterday, and that's a bastard, this was all rusty and everything. So I went in there with a right angle, cleaned that up, and then hit it with Ospo, and it's actually drying right now. So we should be able to, realistically, get all this primed. It should be pretty well ready to go. I got a little bit more grinding to do on the welds on the cross member and stuff, but thanks, Eric. Thanks, Diesel. So, guys, the hardest part of putting this into this frame is the original front cross member. Okay, nightmare. Now, we got it out. It was not easy at all. Something to keep in mind, before you put your cross member in, your Mustang 2, there are 4 rivets that as soon as you go to put your boxing plates in, you will have 0 access to. You got to get those rivets out beforehand, okay? They're right here and right there, okay? Right at the very front of the boxing plates. So we did those first, and that was, you know, that honest to God, that was probably an hour and a half to get those 4 off. Then you've got an additional, I think there's 16 rivets total that hold this on, okay? 2, 4, 6, 8, 8, 8, 16, yeah, 16. Now, basically the only way we could get them off was to cut the heads off, top and bottom of the rivet, and then take an air hammer and punch them out.
That worked sometimes.
And sometimes that worked and sometimes it didn't, not to mention that it's incredibly loud. So the next thing that we did was took a drill, a big drill bit, and drilled through them, like really good drill bit. Thank God we found one. And that worked pretty well and pretty quick. So drill them out. Cut the head, top and bottom heads off, drill them out. You should be way better off. Then what we did, and this is kind of a pro tip, something to keep in mind. If you want to, the only way you're getting this cross member out, okay, is to cut it in half. Now, if you want to get it out without cutting it in half, say you want to keep it for some unbeknown reason, you have to remove these. And these are your core support radiator mounts. They're a fixed point and they're in the right spot. The last thing you want to do is cut these off to get a cross member that doesn't matter out. So what we did is we took actually, here's that pro tip. Sawzall blades, okay? We used a Milwaukee Torch metal blade, a new one, okay, the long one. It cut through this thing like butter, like absolute butter, okay? It took us probably less than a minute to cut that in half and pretty much have it on the ground once we had all the rivets out. So once we cut it in half, sledgehammer, boom, 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 slammed it down, and that's not bad. That's not bad, guys. So that's what we did to get this out, and then obviously we had the rust left over that we had to treat this morning and use the Ospo on. So not too terrible. We probably have 5 hours in the front cross member total. The rivets are not fun, like at all.
It's going to be a long day.
It's going to be a very long day. Don't think that you're going to just, you know, what rear suspension? Well, right now, Mr. Eric, it doesn't really have much. So right now we have a 9-inch forward rear end sitting under here. We removed all the factory suspension, all the leaf springs and stuff. And I have ordered, I'm just waiting on it to come in the next week or two, a parallel rear forebar, rear forelink with a bolt-in Panhard bar and Alden American billet coilovers, adjustable coilovers with the new cross member for the coilovers that goes across the back. That's going to be the rear setup with a 9-inch Ford, with a gear, with a posi, with disc brakes. Possibly Willwood disc brakes. I really like the ones I have on the front. So And realistically, I'm just waiting on it to get here. So, you know, you will see us. Yeah, gonna be kind of cool, right? So, like I was saying earlier, though, motor. I'm gonna see. I'm gonna move this camera, and if it goes to hell, you guys let me know if it gets all blurry and weird. I want to try to show you a couple things, but I fight the internet in this garage, so just bear with me. Hold on. Let me flip you here. Okay. We still clear? Ghosty, are we clear? This is the mock-up engine that we're going to be putting in. This is a 305, fully dressed with a tune port. Perfect. So this will be going in the next week and a half, along with a turbo 400 transmission, and allowing us to get the motor and transmission mounts into here. So if you look at this, looks pretty slick from this angle. This kit, guys, really a good kit. If you're gonna buy one of these, $2,148, it's a freaking steal. All right, with the Willwoods and the big rotors and everything else. Show you what this looks like here. We still clear. Power steering with the rack extenders bolted up perfectly. All the things. Really, really looking good. So I couldn't be happier with how this has turned out, this part of it. Now, Eric, you were asking about the rear. Here's kind of what we got. There's our 9-inch. Fun story. Audio's choppy. Okay. So this rear end is actually a 9-inch Ford. It's 56 inches wide, axle flange to axle flange. So it's actually the perfect rear end for this. The factory rear end was 58 inches wide, but this allows us to run a pretty good tire. These are 15 by 8s. Now we've had 17 by 8s on here. My dad's torque thrust 2s. I think they got a 4.5-inch backspace. Those fit beautifully. So we have a lot of room. We have room on the back side of here, so it's not actually hitting the side of the bed. And we have a ton of room here. So realistically, I could probably go a little wider. But yeah, it's gonna sit low. It's just, you know, I'm hoping it sits low. I will see where it goes. But yeah. It's gonna be way lower than stock, that's for sure. So I have a picture of one. It's a turquoise and white one that a guy built. I think it won like Truck of the Year this year or something like that, or Street Rod of the Year or something like that. But it's exactly kind of the look that I'm looking for here, right? So, but so far, that's where we're at. So now you guys have seen the engine that's about to go in it here soon. Engine, transmission. All it is on Thursday, I'm going to order the engine and transmission mounts. And whenever they get here, I'm going to put it in. Cab will go back on. I am going to take the bed off probably in the next couple days. It's just in the way now that we're going to be moving backwards towards the rear of the truck to do the rear suspension here soon. Oh no, Ghosty. I'm still dealing with the damn timing chain on the Mini Cooper of death. Don't ever buy a Mini. They're awesome, but just make sure that at 90,000 miles you sell it. Otherwise, you're going to spend a fortune. You got to replace half the car. But yeah, guys, really, really happy with how this all turned out. I mean, it looks great. I think I do have a set of 20-inch Chevy bolt pattern, which is what this is. Torque thrust 2s, American Racing torque thrust 2s in chrome. Now, they're not great looking wheels. They're 20 footers. Smart move, Ghosty. Smart move. But I will probably bolt those on here when the time comes to kind of have that roller effect and see what we got. But yeah, got all the Willwood boxes. Here's the brake pads and stuff that are still to go in. Shocks and coil springs are down here. The rest of the bolts and whatnot. But yeah, I'm super stoked. This is really, I mean, if you guys know, Ghosty, Diesel, you know, all you guys, you know that a couple weeks ago, this was a rusty frame that had no hope. You know, and to see it now, bare metal and then epoxied and then the Mustang 2 in it, and all of these things that are now all of a sudden just happening. It's kind of bang, 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 which is great. I mean, we're not realistically that far away from this truck having an engine and transmission in it and starting. I mean, really. So there's a lot of things that need to happen, but they're not terrible. Some of the really hard stuff is actually getting done now. And, you know, we have found that the Apache pickup truck frame in the truck is, it did look like Tow Mater. It did. It looked like that piece there. It was freaking terrible. But these are actually relatively simple to work on, which has been a joy. You don't have some of the harder things like with the some of the street rods, you know, the 40 Fords, the 37 Fords, so this and that, you know, it's just, these just seem simpler. They kind of have that X brace in the frame, which just gets it. It wasn't designed for, you know, what we're trying to do, which is big motors and power and modern transmissions and shifters and exhaust to go through it and all the things. Wasn't made for that. But, you know, here we are. This, guys, just brings me so much joy. And it's stupid, I know it, but I love it. Absolutely love it. And I do have the dust caps and everything. They're just, the rotors are just sitting on there. We did lube them up. We did grease the bearings and everything. It's got all the bearings and races and all that in them. So it's not just, you know, metal on metal with nothing. It's, for the most part, there. So, yeah, it's going to be a very interesting build here really fast, because we were just doing body work and we were doing, you know, just rust removal and body work and priming some more. I want, what year's your Supra, Ghosty? '98. '98? Isn't that like the one that was in Fast and the Furious? First one? The orange one? With all the stickers? I want to say 98 is that. That's not the older one. So yeah, guys, that's where we're at here. I think I'm going to wrap this one up here in a little bit and go make some dinner. But I wanted to bring this to you guys and show you this. We're going to get back to doing our daily 3 o'clock live, so be looking for those. They are going to be coming back every day, starting right now. You know, some of them will be longer than others. Some of them will be us doing things and so on and so forth. Some will be just kind of overview, kind of like we're doing right now. Nice. Okay, I know the one you're talking about. Yeah. So, hope you guys are enjoying this. We, oh, yeah. Okay, I got you. Still a hell of a car. All right, guys. Well, I'm going to go cook me some dinner. We'll be back tomorrow, 3 o'clock. Check out the channel. I've got a ton of videos. If you're wondering how to put this in, I did a step-by-step video of how to install the cross member, where to get all your marks and all your measurements and all of that. How to do all of this is on our channel. There's videos there, so check those out. and we will see you guys tomorrow. See you later, Ghosty. See you, Diesel.